Welcome to episode 7. This is from Amarillo to Flagstaff, Arizona. Enjoy. So far, we've covered home to Oklahoma City in about a week. That was episode 6. It's been great in getting the hang of it all as a process, but I think we got pretty good at it. Caro is the chief navigator, I'm just the driver enjoying the ride, and Jax is in a "are we there yet" state.
Hi, we are leaving Oklahoma City this morning in the rain, and we're heading to Amarillo, Texas.
And it was raining buckets. Not always sunshine on a road trip. While still in Oklahoma State, we visited the Route 66 Museum in Clinton, displaying the different decades. Route 66 was also the main street of America. The 1920s, the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, and in the 70s, things started to die off due to bigger highways. Overall, nice museum with very nice exhibits. Then we got back on a bumpy old Route 66 and saw a few oddities. In Elk City, we saw an old rig replica, quite big those things. In Sayre, the Western Motel with its cactus sign. Finally, we arrive at the Texas line. At that location, there is the Will Rogers marker as well. In Shamrock, Texas, we stopped at the old Conoco station that was recently restored. Nice job. We drove through Amarillo downtown and got on historic Route 66 once again. Again, a few more oddities to reach our campground. And finally made it to Amarillo for the night.
Nice cool morning in Texas. Perfect weather to go and drive to Albuquerque.
Alright, we just arrived at Cadillac Ranch and look at the road. It's all painted. Everybody's riding on it. That's pretty cool. How the heck did the Cadillacs end up in the middle of a farm field? We reached a great milestone when we arrived in Adrian, Texas, at the Midpoint Cafe. That is 139 miles from Chicago and LA, right in the middle. Crossing the New Mexico state line, the landscape is changing drastically, seeing a lot more gold and green with an added mountain background. Quite nice, but makes you realize how small we are. We stopped in Tucumcari at the Tipi Curios and bought some souvenirs. Close to Albuquerque, the road is tracking in between the mountains and you are going down quite a bit. Then we arrived at our KOA in Albuquerque for the night. Quite a nice view. In Albuquerque, we started the day with visiting the National Museum of Nuclear Science and History. Inside covers the history of nuclear science, Manhattan Project, World War II, Radiation 101, and other related topics. While outside covers a bunch of missiles, plane's submarine top fin, and the Los Alamos Tower replica that was used in the Oppenheimer movie. Then we headed over to Santa Fe, an hour drive from Albuquerque. Closer to Santa Fe, the mountains started to show again, very picturesque. The town has a quite unique architecture and it's very beautiful. We spent a couple of hours walking around the Santa Fe Plaza and gawking at arts, jewelry from all budget and many over budget items that we wish we could afford. Even some secret science. We also visited the St. Francis of Assisi Cathedral, which was unfortunately closed that day. Close by was Loreto's Chapel with its miraculous stairway. We didn't go in to see that. With all this walking around, we stopped for lunch at the Plaza Cafe. Very tasty stuff. Santa Fe was founded in 1610, about the same as Quebec City, which was 1608. It makes it for very unique architecture and history. Good morning. We are leaving for Flagstaff this morning. Long road ahead, so enjoy. Leaving Amarillo, almost a desert, and road was pretty quiet. Then we started to climb and pass by some very nice red rock formations. At some point, we reached the Route 66 Continental Divide marker. That's where the rainfall goes towards the Pacific instead of the Atlantic, and the elevation was over 7,200 feet. Afterwards, we stopped at the Gallup Cultural Center where we saw the Storyteller exhibit showing beautiful southwestern arts. In addition, they had the Gallery of the Masters, which focused on the Navajo code talkers. They were key to the World War II success. That was a wrap for Gallup. Our big ticket item for the day was the Petrified Forest National Park, which includes the Painted Desert. From the way we arrived, we started with the Painted Desert. Like, no wonder this is a national park. We've never seen anything so grandiose and beautiful. The park is a 28 miles road that goes through the different geologic sections and has numerous lookout points. The entrance fee is $25 per vehicle. There's also a section of Route 66. A forgotten village with its petroglyph. And again, more petroglyphs at a lookout called Newspaper Rock. On our way to the Petrified Forest section, we were all alone on the road. At one lookout, there were quite a few petrified trees. I'll leave the how for you to explore in the links below the video. We did the whole thing in all lookouts in 3 hours with our 31 feet trailer in the back, and had no problems at all. Then we continued our journey through Holbrook and saw the Wigwam Motel. Our final stop for the day was the Jackrabbit Trading Post in Joseph City. And our resting place for the next few days at the KOA in Flagstaff. Another big day today. We're visiting Meteor Crater near Winslow, Arizona. This is Meteor Crater. created by a 150 feet meteorite 50,000 years ago, smashing air at 26,000 miles per hour. It created this huge crater, which now stands at 550 feet deep and 2.4 miles wide. That's a 1,300 pounds piece of the meteorite. NASA trained their astronauts here prior to going to the moon. Interesting tidbit, you can't fly anything above the crater as it creates a vortex that planes can adapt to. One of them crashed in there. For size reference, in the center's white patch, there's an astronaut dummy I zoomed in on. Next up, Winslow, Arizona. There's a famous corner called Standing on a Corner, made famous by the Eagles with their song Take It Easy. I couldn't help myself and sing a bit. Okay, alright, I'm no singer. Take it easy. After all that singing, we stopped at the Relic Road Brewery, and their Reuben sandwich was great, along with a couple of cold ones. Then we headed back to our campground towards the storm, but managed to catch the remaining arrow of the Twin Arrows trading post. And last stop was Winona Walnut Canyon Bridge, which is no longer in service. Alright, we are on the Grand Canyon Railroad, going to the Grand Canyon, and this is a luxury train. This is pretty cool. I'm on the outside of it right now. That's traveling in style. It was a very comfy ride from Williams, Arizona to Grand Canyon Village on the South Rim. We even had a live performer with us. That was great.
And time keeps dragging on. But that whistle keeps on blowing on down to San Antonio.
Again, the ride was amazing and we met some wonderful folks. On arrival, we embarked on a 2 hours interpretive bus tour, which brought us to 2 lookout points, and then we got the awe moment. The Grand Canyon is 277 river miles long. That is for the Colorado River that goes through it. The average depth is 1 mile or 5,280 feet deep. An average width is 10 miles. For Canadians, that is 16 kilometers wide and 1.6 kilometers deep on average. I even managed to capture the only bridge crossing the Colorado River. In the village, you have the El Tovar Hotel, built in 1905, and it's directly on the canyon rim. What a view it must have. They also have a very reputable restaurant. Maybe next time. Across, you have the historic Hopi House that sells Native American arts and craft. Nice stuff there. The photo opportunities are endless. It's definitely a bucket list item. On our way back on the train, we got robbed.
Use those things. Marshals on our trail as it is. Those are very traceable. Oh no, what do we got over here? I want to see some pictures of dead presidents. Alright! You wave.
This was a very memorable day. Destination, Walnut Canyon, near Flagstaff. We're at Walnut Canyon National Monument at 6,600 feet elevation. The canyon is 20 miles long and 400 feet deep. It contains rock cliff caves where people started to live in around year 1100. The dwellings were occupied for about 100 years. Caro counted 368 climbing stairs at 84 degrees Fahrenheit, or 27 Celsius at 6,600 feet high. Not the Grand Canyon, but a great place to visit for sure. Then we headed over to Flagstaff to drive the Route 66 portion of that town. There's a lot of murals around, quite beautiful city. One of them stand out the most being a block long called Mother Myth of Route 66. Lots of detail on it. We ended the day in our stay in the Flagstaff area on a high note and stopped at the Mother Road Brewery Company. What can I say? Beer is always good. Our next and final Route 66 episode will cover Flagstaff, Arizona to San Diego, California. I know it should be Santa Monica, but we deviated further south as we previously visited the endpoint. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel to keep being updated of new videos, and thanks for watching.